Good evening, everybody. We are live. We are back, and guess who else is back?
Me.
Kev's back. Finally, I've actually finally made him ditch his plans with his family for one Sunday. No, that sounds quite wrong, really, doesn't it?
No, I didn't have plans today really, so
No, well, there
I
we go.
made sure the plans I had was to come here.
There it is.
So to
Prioritising
see
at its
all you
best.
ugly people.
Good job we can't see you and you can only
Yeah.
see us. Perfect. So guys, we're going to be taking your questions first. So Nick's in, first in. Good evening, Nick. Evening, Luke. Luke Canty is in as well. So as per usual, we'll be taking your questions. Hello, Mitchell. How's it going, my friend? So yeah, we'll be taking your questions first up until the 10-minute mark, where we're going to go into Focus 10, and we got a juicy one for Focus 10 tonight. We'll be giving you mine and Kev's questions. I've pre-written 6. Oh, George is in. George WBA, hello. So I've pre-written 6 questions. We got 4 trivia questions ready, and Kev is going to chip in with 2 questions of his own at some point. Matthew Marsden is in. How's it going, my friend? So everybody in. George, early for once. Yeah, it is quite early for you, mate. Fair play. So, right. Guys, the floor is yours to start with. Give us what you got. And so, buy me back below, Taff. Which kit is your favourite? Mine is the home. Hey.
No, I can't stand it.
I,
Black one for me.
I like them all. I prefer the black one to the home one. But obviously I got the home one first because that's what you do. And when I get some money sorted out from work, I will be getting the black one as well. And then obviously getting the Fraser third kit as well. So yeah, so the kits, I like them. I'm a big fan. Brooklyn Lee, who do you think will be the number 1 for us, as Flynn is saying they're going to battle for it?
For me, it's got to be King, innit?
I think it's going to be King.
I do
Yeah,
as well.
definitely King. XR's 1 to 11 is in. Hello to you too, my friend. Right then. So, is Bale wasted going to China? I've heard his deal has collapsed. Come through the news that his deal has collapsed. His deal to China has collapsed, according to Sky Sports. Opinions on WBA's transfers so far, if you've seen them. I actually haven't seen WBA's transfers yet. What I could do is could be worth having another phone, so that I could Google stuff as people are asking me, so I can take a quick look at it. I know that's cheating, really, but who cares? So, George, tell us who you've signed so far then, mate, and then we'll give you a good opinion on it. So, no sponsor on the shirt. Yep, that's the Paddy Power.
I think it's great, I do, because at least then the shirt doesn't go out the date as such.
No, that's it. So basically, the way I see it, Paddy Power has paid us a sponsorship fee, but has not put their sponsorship on the shirt. I think it's great, and we're not the only ones they've done it with. Huddersfield or the other team that they've done it with, and I think it's cracking.
I think it's set the precedent.
Yeah, and as Kev said, this doesn't go out of date anymore. You know, you can wear this whenever you want. It's great. I think it's absolutely great. Have we signed Foley yet? I don't know whether I should be saying this, but I have had a conversation with Sam Foley over Facebook on whether he's going to be signing or not. I think it's pretty much going to be common knowledge soon, though, isn't it? Soon enough, because the season's on the horizon.
I don't know really whether we should sign him or not. I know he's 32. Is he better than Dolan? Yes. As in experience in the football league, definitely better than Dolan.
He knows our club as well.
He knows the club. But again, could we get better than him for what we can get? Probably not, to be honest. We've got Labadie in there, we've got Sheehan in there. We need a ball-winning player, and I think Foley fits that. At least Foley can sit in there and win the ball. And
the way I see it, I think we need a midfielder that can score 10 plus goals a season.
But I don't think he's that player. That's the problem.
He is, I think.
I don't think he won't. He hasn't had 10 goals. Didn't score 10 goals at Northampton when he was there.
No, but he has scored them with us.
He has, but that was when he was playing up front, just off the front player with Craig Reed.
I think if he's put into the right role as just behind the strikers, I think he could. But then
I don't think we should sign him to expect 10 goals off him for the season. To be honest, I think Labadie could get 10.
But the word is, and this is the word from him himself, is basically that it's not going to happen. I'm afraid. I dropped him a message saying, I hope you're signing for the county. You did well the other night. It'd be great to have you back. And then you just come back, not going to happen, mate. And I said, well, I think we'd be making a mistake. He said, so do I.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
I guessed it wasn't going to happen because we haven't heard anything. And Flynn put in the paper he wouldn't sign him for sentimental reasons.
Well, yeah.
So that tells you straight away that he wasn't going to sign.
Yeah, but then there we go. Thoughts on the size of the squad? Nearly 2 teams. Well, that's going to be a big thing for us this season, I think.
Well, I think we could put a team of defenders out, couldn't we, as well, in some games? Just have Hammond up front on his own and put 10 defenders on the
quite
pitch.
obviously going to be 3 centre-backs and 2 wing-backs, isn't it?
It
Considering
is,
how many of them we got.
Yeah.
It's got to be, isn't it? With the 3 in midfield, 2 up front, but then one of the midfielders is going to be more like a support between the midfield and the strikers.
What I have got to say is this Corey Whiteley. I haven't obviously seen any pre-season friendlies or anything, and what I've heard, he's quite a good player.
Well, I know the Amsterdam
what I
film
have
is
been
very
told
impressed.
is he's similar to Wilmot. So do you think they're going to be battling them two? Are going to be battling for spaces? He can run with the ball like Wilmot. He can cross the ball in. He can score goals. So it'd be interesting to see whether Wilmot and him can play together in the same team. To be honest.
Pepe to Arsenal, both of your views. Is this Pepe the Portuguese centre back who used to play for Real Madrid? I think a bit too late. Yeah, Pepe to Arsenal.
Is that another one Zidane don't like then, is it?
No, he's not at Real Madrid anymore.
I was going to say.
He's at where is he now, Pepe? I can't think where he is. I know is it Porto he plays for? Someone like that. I think he's back in Portugal, and apparently I think he's off on a free at the moment, but he's a bit old. So I think he'd bring a bit of experience to Arsenal. I think
we could have got him in the county.
Yeah, I think a bit of experience. I just don't think he's big enough personally to be a Premier League defender. He's a bit on the short side for a centre back, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, I suppose, but it's his age as well. With the pace in the Premier League, players that get past him.
I don't think it'd be a good move for Arsenal personally, but unless they're getting him for free, and he's going to be something of a backup for people to learn off of, maybe. Predictions for Saturday, too tough to tell first game, isn't it?
I think it's a win. And as I said last season, I predicted we'd finish 7th, and we did. And jokingly, I did say to someone we'd lose in the playoff final, and we did.
Yeah.
But this year, I say we will finish top 3, and we will finish 3rd in the league, with Bradford winning the league, Mansfield 2nd, us 3rd.
Interesting.
Top 3.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. Any news on when the season tickets are being sent out?
So, well, all I've heard is what people put on Facebook. It's Tuesday onwards.
Yeah, we'll see about that one then. I don't know anything official yet though. Dan Short is in. Hi Taff and Kev. Hi Dan. Toure, should he go out on loan, or will he ever get a chance in the first team?
I think he'll have a chance in the first team there, because if he doesn't, he never will, to be honest. And I think it's a player we could lose through the net. We need to get him signed up, give him a few games, see how he plays. Even if you play him in the Mickey Mouse Cup, give him a few games against the bigger teams, see how he fares. Or bring him off the bench, something like that. He needs to be playing games, because I think he's going to be one in future. We'll look back and think, we should have played him more.
It's a bit like Aaron Holloway, for example, who went on to be a good League One striker in the end.
Yeah,
got promoted with Wickham.
We should have.
We had Christian Doige on trial, and we turned him down.
Yeah, but at the time we had 2 decent strikers playing for us at the time, O'Connor and Jolly, didn't we? When he was offered to Edinburgh.
No, that was the start of the second season when O'Connor was there, yeah, but Jolly was fallen off the boil and left by the mid season. Then I know we had Zabrowski as well, but
yeah,
I mean funny. But
at the time, I think it's whether or not he thinks he got the budget for it. We don't know exactly what happened there, to be honest. But
and Doige, I know, wasn't he wasn't a big
but
player or
Toure's,
anything like that. Like
but
he
the
is now.
difference with Doige, he wasn't our player. Toure is.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing is, even if we had had Doige and he done we would have got money for him. But Toure's one of ours. He's come through the youth. Players like that, we need. If he don't get a chance, he never will.
I mean, yeah, I'd agree. I think we should be keeping him and giving him a chance. But with Tristan Abrahams coming in, for me, I think it's likely that he's going to go out on loan.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know whether Abrahams will get a lot of games, to be honest. But
So that's Krivojevich from Benfica, Sawyers from Brentford. So this is West Brom's transfers. Zahor from Cardiff, Ajayi from Rotherham, Furlong from QPR. I think there's some good signings, man.
Lahore from Cardiff.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh
I
well,
got, I
they'll
got.
be in League One next
Well,
season.
well,
Eh?
funny enough, I
Cardiff?
do my seasonal bet, and I got West Brom for promotion on that.
Yes, that's Cardiff loses Lahore. They'll be in League One next year.
Mitchell Jenkins think Foley would complete our midfield. He would have done.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think I would. He already would have had to have done it. He's probably got another backup striker on loan or something like that.
So looking bad for Bolton. Do you think they will get thrown out of the league? Too soon to tell at the moment. I mean, I'd rather them not, them and Bury, but hopefully they can sort something out. But if not, well, it's a sorry old day for football then when things like that happen to football clubs. So Bennett is a holding midfielder. Yeah, I think he's definitely got to be a holding midfielder, not a centre back. We've got too many defenders now anyway. I witnessed a thrashing yesterday. Poole 12-1 against Yeovil Town under 18s. So did Poole beat Yeovil under 18s or lose to Yeovil under 18s? So Luke Henty, League One could have 22-team league with Bury and Bolton knackered, so surely more promotion spaces for League Two at the end of the season. 6 teams could go up.
No,
I
we've
don't
just been
think it'll work like
discussing
that.
this, and I think the only way you could do it is not have relegation from football
So,
into conference.
Well, funny enough, we got it down as a question to cover this one later, so we'll come back to it a bit later on. We got to catch up so we can, because we're already 1 minute and 40 odd seconds into Focus 10. So, right, and Pepe plays for Lille, that's right, yeah. Oh, Pepe plays for Lille, 22-year-old. Right, I'm with you, Pepe. That's the one everyone's going on about. Yeah, with Liverpool as well after him. Many tickets sold for Saturday. I'm not sure how many tickets are sold for Saturday so far.
Today, didn't it?
Yeah, it's not making Mace Cup when you win it. Yep, completely agree. Guru Kev's thought on Toure, the lad needs some game time. Yep, who'd you play in midfield this season? Labardi, Sheehan, and Bennett for me. Beat them, so you beat them, right? Score predictions, Mansfield game, I think 2-1 County. And no Luke, Newport take over Bolton's fixtures. No, it won't happen. Won't happen. We're prepared for League Two now. If we get put into League One, we get slaughtered. So, right, we're going to come back to that one a bit later. We're on Focus 10 now, so we're a little bit over at the moment. So, Focus 10 is to do with sugar daddy owners putting money into a football club. I've bullet pointed 3 points that I want to raise against that, because in my personal opinion, I think someone with super bucks going in and buying a team and just ploughing millions into a club gives an unfair advantage over other teams. And personally, but when you're gaining an unfair advantage, for me, it's cheating. That is the definition of cheating, is when you're using something to get it, something nobody else has got to gain an unfair advantage. When you've got a sugar daddy with millions ploughing into a football club, you're getting an unfair advantage. So these are the bullet points I put down. Should there be a cap to what you can put in as an owner? Should we cap the amount of money they can physically put in? Should we say if you're a League Two football club owner, the most you can put in is 500k a season, and then work their way up the leagues?
I think the way you could look at it.
2 seconds, mate. Let me just finish these bullet points a minute, and then we'll get into it as a whole. Then, should FFP count any extra income from owners? So where FFP stops you from spending a certain amount of money or making certain losses, should it count what income is put in by an owner? So that is discounted from the FFP analysis. Then finally, the final bullet point, sorry Kev, we will get back to your point now. Should there be a rule to prevent sponsorship deals with companies which owners have an involvement or an affiliation with? So basically like like Sheikh Mansour at Man City with Etihad, should Etihad be prevented from sponsoring Man City because they can sponsor them for 500 million a season, because he can just play the money in that way to get around the FFP. So that is Focus 10 for this one. It's going to run until about the 23-minute mark. We're on about 14 minutes now. Kev, fire away, my friend.
What I was going to say on it, obviously, is I think it should be some sort of cap to a point of what someone can put in.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you look at League Two, for instance, obviously because of Newport we might have a budget to say 1.2 million, and you've got someone like Luton who might have had a budget of 3 million. Now, to me, that's unfair advantage.
Yeah.
Now, it should be capped, that it should say, right, anyone in League Two can only have a budget up to 2 million.
Yeah.
If you can't hit 2 million, that's fine. But that's the most you can have. It's £2 million budget, a £2 million budget across the board.
But then, what you got to look at then is that some clubs are just naturally bigger than others.
They
you
are.
know,
And
bigger
then
brains,
what comes
bigger fan
into that
bases.
then is, they can go and buy Christian Doige for £1 million. We can, but they can't. But he's still got to be incorporated into their budget. So they may have a team of 18 players, where we got a squad of 22, because we've had to go out and buy cheap players. We have got to buy quantity to cover the quality, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
And I think it should be something along them lines. So they say, right, your budget for League Two can only be 2 million or whatever.
So when we're talking budget, we're talking a cap of your wage budget.
Yes. Wage or anything like that. So you can't have someone like, well, take Forest Green for example, where he could say put 5 million into a club, which gives you an unfair advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we can go and buy a player, right? You could buy 2 players for 2 million, but them 2 players might take up his wage bill.
Yeah.
So tough luck.
Yeah, of course. And then the thing is, the one thing I wouldn't want to do is discourage an owner from putting money into a club if they're going to build up their
I think obviously if you know at League Two you can't have a budget of more than 2 million, 2.5 million, whatever they set it at. Then our owner knows, okay, I can go out and buy the best players for that league, but I've got to manage your budget, or the manager's got to manage your budget better.
It's an interesting.
And any other money that comes in will not necessarily go on at players' wage. Well, you can pay a player what you want. If you've got 10 players on £2,000 a week, you're only the rest of them are going to be on 500 a week.
Yeah.
For argument's sake.
So you got to manage the budget.
But you might have 10 players on £2,000 a week. When you put Kane, you only got one on £2,000 a week. So that's the difference. I think you're still going to have the better teams benefiting from it.
Right then.
But everyone will be on a level playing field as such.
So we haven't had any messages from any of you guys for the last sort of 4 minutes or so. So could someone just put something on there just so we know something's not right? Okay, thank you, Matthew Marsden. I think it should be capped for 2 million for League Two, but when a club sells a player, they can have that money going into their budget. I think that's why I think it should be down to
the other thing as well, we were discussing this before we come on to the thing as well, the chat. I think it should be you do everything across the board. I think every player's wages should be capped at that level.
Yeah.
All the way up to the Premier League. So for argument's sake, say for argument's sake we take Forest Green. Forest Green signed Christian Doige for £2,000 a week. Right? He can't earn more than £2,000 a week in League Two because it's capped. Newport County can offer him £2,000 a week. So he takes a choice of where he goes to. But Forest Green might say, we'll give you £1,000 for every goal you score. As a bonus. But Newport County say we'll only give you £200 because that's all we can afford. So that's where the players will pick what squad they go to. But I think the wages should be capped. So every team still starts on a level playing field. So
basically, you can't have a club with a moneybags owner pulling championship players into League Two, paying them £5,000 a week.
Because I think that's where the unfair advantage happens.
I mean, if you're naturally a bigger club than somebody else, you should be able to have a bigger budget, which is why I think the capping should be down to what the owner puts in. So the owner can only put in X amount of money towards a playing budget.
What the owner owns then. So if Luton was, let's say Luton 10 because they were a big club. If he were worth 10 million, you have a percentage of 10 million, right? That's all they can put in.
Yeah.
If Newport County were worth 2 million, you could argue again 10%. Luton are a bigger club, so they got the advantage anyway. But it's got to be capped to a point somewhere along the line.
So Luke County said no, it shouldn't be capped. Just Man U, Liverpool, jealous of Man City. Fair play. No one has a right to. No, you're right in the fact that no one has a right to sit top of the league. But then, if you look at it, Man United and Liverpool are still bigger clubs than Man City. Man City might have more money, but they're still bigger clubs, and they've earned that. They've earned that during periods where there was no people coming in and just ploughing millions into football clubs. You know, Man City have got there by financial backing and not by a natural growth and not by natural success like Man United and Liverpool have done. Man City have bought their way to the top. Man United and Liverpool have earned their spots at the top. And that's the big difference. I mean, what's to stop anyone from buying West Ham and putting West Ham top of the league eventually? You know, Man City have won, was it 4 Premier Leagues now? 4 or 5 Premier Leagues in the last 10 years.
I think Man City's biggest thing is Guardiola, to be honest.
Well, I think
if Guardiola went, Man City, I wouldn't say struggle, but I don't think it'd be as far in front as he would be.
But then it's the same Chelsea are where they are because Abramovich played money into them. They were a big club.
But he would never winning it year after year after year.
Tottenham where they are, right? Not because of money, but because of their recruitment. Their recruitment has been phenomenal.
And their owner's a Tottenham fan.
Yeah, and their owner's got the club's interest at heart. But then at the end of the day, they sold Bale for 80 odd million, you know, and then they invested that money wisely. And they look at them; they're phenomenal. They've got a phenomenal squad. They're European Cup runners up. You know, they're regulars in the top 4 now, and they've earned that spot. Man City got there without having somebody play their own money. You know, which is just frigging chump change for them, and they got billions and billions in the bank. You know, but then when you've got like millionaires in League Two pushing Forest Green, you know, a little village team somewhere completely above their station. You know, and then you got clubs like Notts County falling out of the Football League. I mean, fair play. Football clubs have to be run properly financially as well.
But this is where I think if you cap
money has to be spent
if it's
wisely.
Capped to a point, whether the word capped is a word you use, I don't know. Yeah. But it'll stop these clubs like Bolton and Bury going into administration, losing money, because then every club has got to be run properly.
Yeah.
To a strict guideline.
So you can't spend money you haven't got.
Yeah.
Basically, like Bury.
Yeah. So in other words, if you've got players, you've got a budget of 2 million. So, like I said, you haven't got to use the word cap, but it could be a thing of like 2 million. You can't go over that. But that club knows that they may not win the league, but they're not going to go out of business, and you're not going to have some guy come in, try and take money out of the club, like some owners do.
So Mitchell Jenkins, I reckon only transfer budget should be capped. I think the point is your overall budget, because transfer budget is only part of your total budget, and the wages are the big one. You know, like people at Man United, you know, giving players 350k a week. I think
transfer budget is slightly different because every club's going to outbid another on the transfer anyway. It's when you've got clubs paying stupid money wages to players. Like I said, Man City could go out and buy Bale if they wanted to for £1 million a week, right? No other club in the Premier League can afford that. So why should that Man City got an unfair advantage, haven't they?
Yep. Well, that's it. And that's what it all comes down to, is the unfair advantage side of it. So look, George WB, West Brom's owner, has put 0 of his own money in since buying the club. So he's running it as a sustainable business. It's just a shame they had a bad season and got relegated, but they're still a big club and they're still a favourite to get back into the Premier League. So it's not like they've played a load of money into trying to succeed in the Premier League and it's backfired, and then they fall down and, you know, they're potless then, you know, and they're pushing themselves to bankruptcy, like Bolton, for example. Luke County, if Terry Matthews bought County, none of us would moan.
Wouldn't happen anyway.
But then, theoretically saying, if a rich guy came in and bought the County, a bit like a Les Scadding situation.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, as a County fan, I'd still want the club run properly. I wouldn't want someone to come in and just put millions in.
And then do a Les Scadding and fuck off.
Do a Les Scadding. To be fair to Les, Le's done it the right way to me, because he definitely
did do it the right way. He definitely did.
But no, if Terry Matthews bought the County, good, as long as he runs it properly, so we sustainable, which is the biggest point. And you build for the future. So if Terry Matthews come in and played money in their club, and we got promoted in 3 years' time, brilliant.
Yeah. So we're going to be wrapping the subject up now shortly. With Les Scadding, I've got to make a point with Les Scadding. With him owning the club, when we got promoted, we pretty much had all our squad. The majority of our squad was in place before Les Scadding became chairman, and the only players he added to the squad was Connor Washington, who barely played a part, Scott Donnelly, Rhys Griffiths, and Christian Jolly. Now, Christian Jolly is arguably the player that got us over the line.
Someone told me he's spending, all them costing £100,000.
Oh yeah. And the most he ever put in a season to the budget was 200k, which is not a massive amount of money. I mean, it would do us really good now, obviously, but it's not like a Pompey or a Luton situation where you're throwing, you know, you're paying players 5 to 10 grand a week in League Two, you know.
Just
So-
staying on that subject quickly, because I know we're going to move on. You say about people coming in buying clubs if someone bought the county. I'd rather Terry Matthews come in and build us a football ground. Not buy the club.
Well, you just took the words
Actually
pretty much
build
out
a
of my mouth.
football ground and
Yeah.
say, because if
I'd
I won
rather
a
it-
lot, if I won 50 million on a lottery, obviously you look after your family and all first. I'd keep 10 million aside if I had it. I'd build a ground for the county.
Yeah.
I'd say to them, you play there, rent free for the rest of your time.
Yeah.
Any upgrades you pay, you do the upgrades on it, but it's your ground.
Build a stadium.
And the
give it
day
to
I
the club.
die, it gets transferred to Newport County's A ground.
Yeah. There you go.
So if anyone come in and bought the club, they can't take the ground as asset because it's not their ground,
So-
but they will play it free of charge.
So Reese Booth says, I disagree there. Man United, Liverpool were always big spenders, 90s, early 2000s, they're splashing hard again. But that's not the point though. They've earned that money themselves by the sheer size of the club. Man City haven't earned the money, they've been given the money by an outside source.
I think you look at Man United, Liverpool, there you say in the 90s, even in the 80s. Every club to me had a level playing field.
Yeah,
The money wasn't in the football then as it is now.
exactly.
So you instead of having 1 or 2 clubs, you had 10 or 11 who could compete in them days.
Yeah, that's it. So would you be against it if someone bankrolled Newport? I wouldn't be against it if they were actually going to build us a training ground, maybe build us a
First
proper
thing I
office
would want is
space and a
someone to come
stadium,
in-
of course. It's
As
a
I said,
stadium.
stadium is the main thing.
You know, that's the kind of thing that we
I
need.
wouldn't want anyone bankrolling as in such, as long as we were sustainable.
But then what I would want then is for us to be putting together a squad based on merit, based on the support that we've got and everything like that as well.
Yeah, a decent League 2 side to get us out, or a League 1 side to get us up.
So if Matt Harding didn't die, Chelsea would not be where they are because he's still beyond. I thought Harding was only really one of the directors with Ken Bates. I know Ken Bates is the one who sold the club, but wasn't Matt Harding just another director with Ken Bates? Luke County, football is a monster to itself. It can never be controlled or capped. And that's the thing, it's a monster and it's going out of control financially.
It never will be now, I don't think, anyway. But.
So, right, so we're going to come out of that subject now anyway. Because Mitchell Jenkins is asking views on how Zidane's been treating Bale. I think it's bloody disgusting personally. He's a fantastic football player. They should be building a team around him.
Don't forget on this, and I'm not defending Zidane or Bale, but we only hear one side of the story. We don't know what Bale has said. I know the team has gone out doing stuff, team building days and whatever, and Bale has refused to go. Now, if you're part of a squad, to me, you go. Whether you're part of a squad, you're getting paid by that squad.
I think you should be made to go.
Yeah, you should be made to go. Now, we don't know what's happened, and don't get me wrong, I think Zidane, he was a great footballer. As a manager, he seems an arsehole. But we don't know there's both sides of it, and from what we hear in little things, is Bale ain't helping himself neither, to be honest. I don't think it's all Bale. I think it's Bale's agent, to be honest. But
so Colin Simmons, great idea, new ground at Old Lamworm site, potentially.
Yeah.
I think they've already got plans with building on there anyway, houses and business units and that. Luke County, well, the Arabs built Man City a ground and new training facilities. Well, wasn't the Etihad the City of Manchester stadium for the Commonwealth Games beforehand, and then Man City went to play there? I think the Arabs bought that and renamed it the Etihad.
Yeah, it was already there. So,
but then, fair play, they've got new training facilities, which I'm not against. But there's obviously no hiding the fact that they have played hundreds of millions into the football club on players, hundreds and hundreds of millions, to the point where they'll be close to pushing it to £1 billion worth of that they've spent on players. That's wages and transfer fees.
the other thing as well is you could look at probably Man City squad. They probably got 50, 60 odd players on their books.
Oh yeah,
Again, which shouldn't be allowed. They should only be able to have a squad of 25, 30 players.
Well, I think there's a squad for the season. You have to name a squad for the season.
Yeah,
People
but I think on the books as well, as a budget, they
Mm.
shouldn't be able, because they can have 50, 60 players. And Chelsea done the same. They send them out on loan.
Yeah.
To me, that's wrong.
Well, I think it's the future in football development.
I think youth players should come into it as well.
I think that's why you've got your under 23s instead of reserve football now. It's all part of a development program.
Like someone said, it's never going to change. So I think it's just something that's.
George WBA, I saw a video on YouTube where it showed the English top flight in the 50s. 21 different teams made the top 6. Crazy how that's different to nowadays. Oh yeah, you could
That's
pretty
what I
much.
said, the 80s, you had 10, 11 teams all on a level playing field.
Yeah.
It was just all about management then, where you
Yeah.
had a better manager than someone else.
That's why, you know, you had different teams dominating at different times through the 80s
Well, you
when it
look at you had
started
Ron
off.
Atkinson dominating, and then you had Ferguson took over. You had Bob Paisley and Joe Fagan, and
Yeah, and obviously Howard Kendall at Everton as
Evan
well.
Kendi at Everton,
And then Spurs came good towards the end of the
Brian
80s.
Clough.
And Brian Clough with Forest in the 70s. So there was great teams, you know.
But it was all about the manager.
Leeds as well, Arsenal. So Asensio 8 for the season. Asensio, which one's that?
Oh, it's
I
essential.
can't think of who Asensio is. Sorry, I've heard the name. I know. I pretty much know what it is. I just can't think. Callum Winton, can't wait to be back with you lot Saturday up the county. Yep, can't wait to see Weedy again. Nick Muller, George. The FA Cup was more open then as well. Yep, absolutely, 100%. That's why it was magical back then. That's how football should be. Yeah, Bobby Robson, massive. Ron Atkinson, massively underachieved with WBA in the late 70s. Well, that's a bit too early for me. But anyway, guys, now that we caught up on your answers and questions, we're out of Focus 10, of course, as well. It's time for our questions to you. Now, I'm going to start with my 6, and in the meantime, Kev's going to think of 2 that he's going to ask at the end of this. So the first one for you guys is, would Wilfred Zaha be making a step up if he moved to Everton? Would he really be making a worthy step up if he moved to Everton? Oh, Callum Weedy, you know, it's the scruffy kid. Yeah, that's that scruffy kid who probably smokes weed and lives in his mum's attic and eats Doritos every night
Watching love films.
and showers once a week. No, I'm only joking. Weedy's a good lad.
Watching girly flicks.
Girly flicks and a box of tissues. Imagine the tissues everywhere.
Yeah, tissues will wipe his nose and his tears not to do anything.
One of those things where you could shine a UV light around, a black light around, and the whole place will just glow. So Mitchell Jenkins says no, still a mid-table side. Yeah, no, because Everton and Palace are both mid-table teams at the moment. So if he obviously he wants to move on,
Yeah,
and
you
we're
see at
talking about
the
Arsenal.
moment, but if you look at teams overall, Everton is a bigger team than Palace. Always have been. In the 80s, Everton were a massive team.
Yeah. So they're saying basically next year Everton can push for a Europa League, but then is Europa League good enough for Zaha? Zaha said he wants to play Champions League and he wants to play for Arsenal because of his boyhood team.
So why did he go to Everton?
If he goes to Everton, I don't think he's gone yet, but if he goes to Everton, is it really a worthy step up in comparison to in comparison to joining Arsenal, of course? Zaha will make a step up. Everton established top 10 team. No doubt you'd be called a bigger team.
18, to be honest, Everton.
Yeah, I think Everton are a bigger club than Crystal Palace are. But is it really such a big step up though? Is it really a worthy step up for him? Is it worth, when he makes that step from Palace, is it worth going to Everton? Or is it worth waiting for Arsenal to get enough money, play another season at Palace and wait for Arsenal to get more money? Or is time going to run out for him for the real shot to play for England as well? Yeah. So what do you think about big teams putting weakened teams out early rounds of the cup?
Again, another thing I think it should be capped where they should start so many first team players from the game before.
I think if you've got a squad, you've got to utilise it.
But I always go back to the Ian Holloway thing when he was manager of Blackpool and he changed 11 players.
Yeah.
And he got fined, Blackpool did. And he turned around on live TV and said, what am I supposed to do there? I've got to score the 25 players. Tell you over 11, yeah, crap, so they're not playing this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I suppose you've got to look at the end of the day, Premiership side per weekend side, they should still beat the side they put in front of them. Yeah. If it's a lower league side, anyway.
Question number 2 then, guys. Right. Does winning friendly matches, tournaments, really mean anything? I think that's on the back of a Wolves fan getting a tattoo because they won a friendly cup out in Asia. Does it really mean anything to win any sort of friendly match or competition?
The year we won the Blue Square South, we didn't win one pre-season friendly game. We lost them all.
And we went out to Portal Rovers in the FA Cup as well.
Yeah. And then we've gone, I think, one season, we won them all, and we struggled. So it doesn't mean anything, to be honest. I think I'd rather them lose them all and win the league,
Yeah.
then win them all and
Mhm.
not win the league or go up or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think it's all about fitness, to be honest. It's
Yeah,
nice to
friendly
win
matches,
because you don't go out to
match
lose a
sharpness, that's
game.
all it is.
You don't go out to lose a game, and winning. If they lost to Indy, do you think that's going to affect them against Mansfield? No.
No.
If they beat Indy 6-8, they beat Western 8-1. If we beat Western 8-1 this week, we go out against Mansfield next week, we're going to walk all over them. No.
No.
So
No way.
it doesn't make no difference whatsoever.
Now here's a good question from Luke actually. Should you be allowed to reverse FA Cup ties to smaller
You
clubs
used
get
to
a
be able
payday?
to do that years ago.
Yeah.
You was allowed to do that.
Because I know Man City would have been very open to reversing.
I think the
we'd
problem
have
was
made a lot more money on it.
the reason why as well is because I think Man City did it a couple of years ago with a side where they give them the money for gate receipts or something, and they said they weren't allowed to do it, so they stopped. Because what it was, we could go to Liverpool for argument's sake and take. We get drawn at home, we all 8,000 at Rodney Parade.
Yeah.
Go to Liverpool, we could get 40,000. Liverpool could give us half of their money, which we technically wouldn't have got if we played at Rodney Parade.
Yeah, of course.
So what they say is unfair advantage, but it suits them when they want it to suit them.
Oh,
Really.
of course, yeah, of course, yeah.
But I'd rather played City at home because we had every chance of beating them at home.
So not really, but it shows we can play football against some good sides like Shrewsbury. So yeah, if you're playing against a better side and you get a decent result against them, you know it
It still does, but
gives you a
would
bit
it
of
have made any
confidence.
difference if we lost to Shrewsbury?
No.
So,
Wouldn't have made a difference if we lost. I think drawing with Al Ali was a good result
Yeah.
though. So yeah, so friendlies are good. I like friendlies, but does it really mean
friendlies
anything
are
if you
good
win
to
them?
watch players on trial lists and things like that, and match fitness. That's
Yeah,
all
match
they are.
fitness is all it is. Yeah, match fitness.
Just getting 90 minutes under your belt. No matter who you play against, still a game of football. You're still running around the pitch.
Yeah. So starting 11 for Saturday. How about, Luke? We'll leave that till the very end. That's how we're going to finish it because it is, the last stream before the start of the season. And if you're just a Premier League fan, football does start next week, not in 2 weeks. So shut up. So that's what I'm saying now. The last thing we do is put out our own joint county 11 for the start of the season. And how about we also do it with you guys as well? We'll do it as a full-on exercise, and I'll take note of it and all that as well. And we'll see who does play, and then we'll bring it up next Sunday. So going back to the last question, surely Everton stadium plans show where the club want to be. If they're looking to build a bigger stadium, then fair play. I know they got owners who are looking to put money into the infrastructure of the club, which is I'm not against owners ploughing money into that. What I'm against is owners ploughing money in for an unfair advantage so you can get better players than anyone else. Who's the trialist who had number 8 on the Chelsea game? Looked good. So the trialist, the county trialist at the Chelsea game, I'm not sure who that was, to be honest with you. I think it was one of the ones from Bristol City, wasn't it?
I'm not saying the game, so I don't know.
Right then. So we got to get through these questions because you've still got trivia as well, guys. Should there be a bigger trickle of money from the top league to the lower leagues? So where there's hundreds of millions in the Premier League, but there's barely hundreds of thousands in League 2. Should there be a bigger trickle so there's a little bit more money at the bottom, just to take a little slice of it away from the top? What do you reckon?
I think the biggest issue is Sky.
Sky.
We don't get although we get money off Sky, we've never been on Sky since we've been in the Football League. And granted, yes, we were in the playoffs because they had to show the games.
That's Asensio, Real Madrid midfielder.
Oh, right. So,
Yeah, I know who it is now. I knew roughly who it was. I couldn't think who it was exactly. We played for. That's bad news for him. Bad news for Real Madrid. It looks like maybe the reason why the Bale transfer has collapsed because they need to keep Bale. They need to use him. So Cameron is saying up the checker trade. Is it worth, if they're trying to get people through the gates for them games, increasing the amount of money you make from it? That's the thing. I mean, if you want something to be popular, you got to throw money into it. Make it a bit more lucrative to actually win games in it.
There's only one game I'll be watching in the checker trade. I've never watched one. There's only be one this season. I'll be West Ham.
So there obviously should be, but it won't be. Definitely look at the Sky schedule for EFL. I'm pretty sure there was one League 2 game, and that's Salford as well. They've already got money. Because of the bloody class of '92. You know.
Yeah, I think there should be more money put in. There should be more games on TV. Every team should have a chance at least once a season of being on Sky.
Cameron saying, Kev, don't boycott.
Don't boycott what?
Check a trade.
I always have, never watched it. Never
I
been
still
to a
do.
game. The only game I go into this year is West Ham.
Fair play, you got to then, haven't you? Simply have to. So, Paul.
No, I'll be washing my hair that day.
Fourth question. I've only got 2 left then after this one.
You went to a final? No, I never.
How should the leagues be formatted if Bury and or Bolton go under? So basically what I mean, if they were to not exist anymore, how do you fill their gap? So basically, what I think it should be, right? This is what I think it should be, right? If both or either of them go out, they're gone. You have X amount of teams less in League One. Then the same amount of teams will go up, but only 2 or 3 teams will go down. Could Bolton and Bury merge? That's an interesting thought. To make one team, Bolton and Bury, you call it like that. But basically, right? Where was I? Yeah. So say both of them, completely fuck up, and there's only 22 teams in League One. Don't move any teams up. Right, I know that would mean we would technically go up, but no. Don't move any teams up. Basically, only 2 teams get relegated from League One. 4 teams get promoted as per usual. And then where you got the 2-team gap in League 2, no League 2 relegation for the season. So no League 2 relegation for the season, and 2 teams come up from the conference as per usual.
Yeah, well, what you could, or the other way of doing it is you leave it as it is now for the season, with the 2 teams less, and as you said,
there'd be the 2
at the end
teams
of the
less.
season, then you have 2 come down, 4 go up. That's all you got to do. Just
And then
2 come down, 4 go up, and everything else.
And then
is the same.
for Bolton and Bury, every team in League 2 gets credited with a 3-0 victory, as per a forfeit.
Well, you wouldn't really need to do that. You just don't play the game, do you?
No, just
you
don't
just
play
don't
the
have
game
it
then.
as a game. You just have whatever. If it's 23 teams, 46
The only thing
games.
is though, they'll be playing less games through the season in total. I mean, I know they would do anyway.
Well, they would do anyway,
Yeah.
so it don't really matter.
Okay.
But that's just the way it is, isn't it? Unfortunately,
Right then. So 5 teams promoted from
Never
League
happened.
2. No, you can't be.
you can't have fights. You can't suddenly change it. I think it would just be 2 teams getting relegated in the end of the season, and that would be it. And there's 4 would still go up, and the 2 from the conference still come up.
No, we don't, because the thing is, you shouldn't have more teams promoted from
No.
non-league into
No.
the Football League.
No.
That should only be 2 teams coming up.
And you can't
But,
stop anyone from the conference coming up if they're playing to win the league. So really, the only way you could do it, instead of 4 coming down from League 1, you just have 2.
You have 2 come down from
And
League
everything
1,
else is
no
same.
one down from League 2. Nobody down from League
Well,
2,
it wouldn't
4 up.
matter. Because as long as you've got 2 coming down from League 1, 4 go up, you're balancing the 2.
Then if you've taken 4
but you've
teams
got,
out of League 2,
I know what you're saying, but unless you have one
But only
coming down,
2
one go- you
teams-
still got to have someone coming from a conference. I don't know where they would work at. Well, yeah, you can
Oh,
still
no,
have
no,
2.
you still have 2 come up.
Yeah,
2
but
will
you'll
come
have
from
a
the
bottom
conference,
2
but
go
then you
down,
just don't have 2 going
Yeah,
down.
you could do that, yeah.
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 So obviously you got a 2-team gap. It gets filled up by the conference. You just have no one going down.
Yeah.
And then the only thing is though, who fills the gap in the conference?
Well,
Unless you make an extra.
you just
Connie
have a
North and
knock-on
Connie
effect,
South.
I suppose. I don't know.
Connie North and Connie South
They
have
would
1 more
work it out.
each. 1 more each from Connie North and
No,
Connie
the
South.
other way of doing it, just relegate Cardiff to League 1. That'd be
There
the
you go.
easiest way of doing it.
Just to say hello, you know me, I'm one of the Chepstow posse, Christopher Pierce Webb. How's it going, Chris? You alright, mate? Name reserved for the gifted, of course. No, that's disgusting on non-league.
Yeah, we're
Notts
on about
County
this.
would be
We're on
gone.
about this season. We're on about the season coming up now.
Yeah. So
So if Notts County won the league next year in the conference, and say the Newport and Mansfield were bottom 2, they wouldn't go down.
So here's one for you, Kev. Paul Gobbett is a cracking plur.
What's a plur?
I don't know. B-Tech Huxtable. So I don't know who.
Why is Paul Gobbett mentioned anyway?
Who is Paul Gobbett? I don't know this man. I'm just joking. Luke Canty, there will be court cases over this and it's unfair. Oh, of course, yeah. There'll be court cases and everything. We're just thinking of the ample way of obviously working it out. No, League One will start with 22 teams and Bolton and Bury games would be a 1-0 forfeit. Well, it's a sticky situation. Thankfully, it's not up to us to correct any of it. Right, so I've got my last two questions now, guys. We'll fire through them as quickly as we can. Should Newcastle fans do more to get Mike Ashley out? For example, like what Blackpool did with Oyston and the boycott. Do you think they should do more, or do you think they just got to
I don't know, but
stick it out?
the thing about the Blackpool thing I didn't like was, yes, it was good what he done because he got them out and he boycotted, but in the long term, it's not benefited the club.
Well, they've come back in force.
They've come back now in force, yes, but Blackpool are what? League One? Okay, they did drop into League Two, right? But they're League One. But some of them hadn't been for 4 years to watch a game. Now that's 4 years of money they're not putting into that club. Now I get why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I think the logic behind it was wrong. There needs to be another way of doing it. Now, could I not watch Newport County for 4 years, even if I didn't like the owner or whatever? No, but you would have to think,
me,
why don't they go out and raise money to buy the owner or do something along them lines instead of not going for 4 years? Because surely, if you imagine that happened to County and a load of us did say we're not going for 4 years, the club had fold potentially, which nearly happened to Blackpool, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but then the thing is, it was effective and it got them to where they wanted.
It was effective, but I think they were lucky because they had the fan base.
Yeah.
If he didn't have a fan base, it's not.
Yeah.
You come into what?
So Bluebirds TV, you coming to the Homeless World Cup in Cardiff? Probably not. No. All my dedication is put into the upcoming Newport County season, I'm afraid, mate. But so we haven't really had much of a response on that one. I don't think many people have much of an opinion on it. But my final question, if you have got an opinion on the Newcastle one, feel free to drop it in. But you can also drop in with this one. It's free to get in. Oh.
And
what days is it?
Cardiff City Stadium, is it?
So Matthew Myers said, Mike Ashley has ruined Newcastle, so I hope he stays. I prefer Sunderland by miles. Fair play. If you're a Sunderland fan, you're living life at the moment, aren't you? Well, you're not. You're not living life, but you're liking seeing, Newcastle in disarray, like what Sunderland have been in. So it's in Butte Park.
Well, so that was on Cardiff City Stadium.
Yeah. Right, this is my final question. Kev's going to have 2 questions, and then after Kev's questions, it is trivia, and then we do the County 11. Newport could have their own homeless team. Bloody hell, we could put in 50 teams.
Bloody hell, they all turn up with their sleeping bags and tents.
But yeah, we could have different sections of town.
You'd even have your homeless queuing for tickets in the tents outside the ground.
Yeah,
like your fans do on big games.
I mean, you could have a Caspers 11, for the people who sleep under Caspers.
Yeah.
You could have Friars Walk United.
Yeah.
You could have
Commercial Street Rovers.
Yeah, oh, fucking hell, there we go.
Pill Harriers.
Pill Harriers, yeah. Pill 11, yeah, we're talking there, yeah, definitely. Well, we could have
Mainly Massive.
we could have Bainswell Athletic.
Yeah.
So there we go, yeah. So don't ridicule the homeless.
Yeah, mainly Albion.
Have you seen the homeless in Newport though? Half of them are fucking druggies. They're shot up to fuck there. They might feel drugs test. Oh, there we go. That's it. Yeah. Or be too pissed to turn up for training. There's that. Bainswell bashers. Fucking hell. Here we go. No, we could be onto something here. Right. So my final question then, guys, is basically: should Messi play a season or 2 in the Premier League like Ibrahimovic and Ronaldo did? The reason I mentioned them, because between them 3, they're arguably the 3 greatest players of this sort of generation. Ibrahimovic did a season in the Premier League and proved his worth. Ronaldo made himself in the Premier League, so he's obviously great. Messi is being labelled... What's that?
Messi goes Stoke.
Yeah, imagine that. So Messi playing in the Premier League, obviously everyone's labelling him the greatest of all time. If he goes to the Premier League and does it there, then I think he's worthy of that title. But until he goes to the best league in the world and does it there, I don't think you can call him the greatest of all time. That's where I stand on it. So what do you guys think? And then it's over to Kevin with your
I
questions.
don't think Messi will ever leave Barcelona. He's one of them players where Barcelona do it, where they bring the youngsters in at 9 and they do it the Barcelona way, and he's been brought up through that. So I don't think he'd know any different, Messi, to be honest. That's the way he's been brought up. But to say you got to play in the Premier League to be a greatest player, I don't think so. Is the Premier League the greatest league in the world? Yeah, it probably is. But that's only because of the money. Look at the amount of foreigners we got coming into our country. If we had our own players playing in our own leagues, would it be the greatest? Who knows? We don't know. But so, I just think you haven't got to play in the Premier League. I get what you're saying. Ronaldo did it.
Yeah, Ibrahimovic did it. I think Messi would need to. So we could always say, you know, this because at the end of his career, people say you're the greatest of all time. Someone could turn around and say to him, "But you never played in the Premier League, though. So
you could
did
argue,
you really test
to be
yourself
a
at the highest level?
You have to play in Spain, Italy, Germany, England,
maybe,
and dominate all them leagues.
So bigger question: which club? Well, it wouldn't really matter. He would come to the Premier League and just do his thing, like, you know. So George has said something good here. I'd love him to be in the Premier League, but Messi doesn't need to prove anything. No. He's got like the 4th most goals against English clubs, and he hasn't even played in England. But Shevchenko had a great record of scoring goals against English clubs before he came to England and was a complete and utter flop. And there was the other one, Diego Forlan had a great record of scoring against English clubs after he left Man United, where he was a flop.
And this is the argument I have with most people. Every player you're mentioning here are strikers. Messi is not a striker. He is not an out-and-out striker. Ibrahimovic was. Shevchenko was. Ronaldo is to a point. He's a winger striker.
Yeah.
Messi isn't. He's more of a midfielder in that number 10 just behind the front player in that slot. And for the amount of goals he scores from a position he plays, there's no better player than him in the world in that position. You put Ronaldo there, will Ronaldo score as many goals? Probably not. No. So,
suppose. But then Maradona didn't play in the UK and probably greatest player. Completely different era though, completely different start. You know, football's different now. You know, it's a completely different era.
Maradona was shit.
Coefficient suggests Spanish league is the best in the last 10 years. I think they've been the most successful in Europe. That's where the coefficients come from.
Spanish league's the best because Real Madrid, Barcelona are probably the only two sides, biggest sides in it. Well, if you look in the Premier League,
Atletico
Arsenal,
Madrid as well,
Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea,
Tottenham.
Man City, Tottenham.
So you got a top.
You got say the top 8 teams in the Premier League would probably beat, apart from Barcelona and Real Madrid, any other Spanish side. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 100%. So the reason the coefficients are so good in Spain is because you had the dominance in Europe from Real Madrid and Barcelona in the past, but then Sevilla with Unai Emery, they built their season around winning the Europa League. Who does that in any other league? Everyone else prioritised getting into the Champions League, where Sevilla prioritised winning the Europa League, and they did it 4 years in a row. You know, so that'll be why. But it's a good point. Messi will go to Newell's. You'll go back to Argentina. You know.
The only thing I will say about Messi, what someone says there about Pele, he's never done it on the international stage. Messi.
That's a good point. That is, yeah.
If he proved it on the international stage, and yes, okay, Argentina have been unlucky probably over the years, but he's got to prove it. If he's done it on the international stage, then you could argue yes.
I say he also needs to win in. Right, for me, right now, I'm going to make my point now on this. Right, trophies doesn't define an ability of a football player. I mean, look at Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard was one of the greatest footballers I've ever seen, but he never won the Premier League. But then you got players who are absolute donkeys who've just been lucky enough to be part of a squad, you know, of great players, and they've got Premier League winners' medals. But then Gerrard's 10 times the player that they are. But then
I'll give you a player as an example.
Okay.
Gaza.
Paul Gascoigne, yeah.
Played fantastic for England. Played fantastic for any team he went to. Newcastle, Tottenham. So he done it at his club and his country.
Yeah.
Not many players do that. Look at Giggs. Giggs outstanding at Man U. When he played for Wales, he was shit.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Bottom line, he was shite for Wales.
Yeah. But then the thing is with Gascoigne, he didn't win many trophies.
But if you speak to Gaza about Gaza to anyone, they'll say, "What do you remember of Gaza?" Or him scoring against Andrea for England, him doing that for Newcastle, him doing that for Tottenham. You speak about Messi, him at Barcelona, not him at Argentina.
Yeah. No, that's a point. So So yeah, Kevin, did you want to ask 2 questions, or are we going to go to the trivia?
I'm
I'm going to get the trivia ready, but if you want to ask
just
2
trying
questions.
to think of.
Right, so as you think now, we'll run through these now. Amund is the GOAT. No, well, Pele was labelled as the GOAT, and he only played in the Brazilian league. Say a completely different era of football altogether to Maradona's era, even, because obviously it was during Maradona's era when players were actually starting to move to different countries to play the
Problem
football.
is with Maradona, he was a skillful player. He could go past players, and there weren't many players like that around then.
Yeah.
And it was all about skill then. Today it's all about pace. You can't touch a player without them falling over.
I think physical fitness plays a massive part in it.
Them days, you had players like Maradona, even back in the 80s, we had players that come on the pitch and have a fag. I remember I watched the thing with Bruce Grobbelaar a couple of weeks ago, and he said Steve Nicholl would come on, have a fag 10 minutes before you went on the pitch, and come off half time and have another fag. And he said it's different these days.
So Message's class is low to Barcelona, too low to Barcelona.
He'll never leave Barcelona.
Probably not, no.
He's brought up their way.
Right then, so Matthew Marsden, I have a question about, do you think it is fair for rugby and football teams to play at the same ground, such as Huddersfield, Hull and Newport? I think people have got to get by however they got to,
When you say fair, what's unfair about it? Would be my answer, a question really. What's unfair about it? Because it doesn't give you an advantage or disadvantage as such, really. So that would be mine.
So there's a lot of mumbo jumbo from a lot of people here, but then basically Nick Muller makes a good point that Gaza was not that good at Lazio.
He wasn't, no.
So so Cruyff was a legend, didn't play in England. Different era though. I think in this era now, a lot of the best players are coming to England to play. I think
the only reason they do is because of the money though.
No, the money. It wouldn't be the money. It'd be because of how hard it is.
I don't know.
Because of tax in this country.
But how
many they
players,
lose half their money, don't they? On tax.
How many players in this country have come over here and made a name for themselves who are unknown, like Drogba?
Yeah.
Come here to Chelsea. He wasn't really a known player as such. Made his name.
Yeah.
I know he's retired here. But many players have come and made their name and went somewhere else and not done it. Never been heard of again. At least players who have made a name like Ibrahimovic and Shevchenko have made a name elsewhere, come to England and for whatever reason hasn't worked.
Haven't been able to do it, yeah. Right then, trivia time.
I can't think of anything anyway, so.
Right, so Kev can't think of anything. First trivia question then, guys, and then I'll get back to the points that you're leaving there now. So the first one on the trivia is who am I? I've been a teammate of Fernando Morientes, Joe Hart, Paul Pogba and Hugo Lloris. Who am I? Who am I? So while you think of that, let's have a look at what you guys have said. Taff's half time. Oh yeah, all that. I sat behind Robbie Wilmot at the Chelsea game, class guy, and had a laugh at the Chelsea free kick as I called it before they scored.
He's not very good at quizzes, old Robbie Wilmot.
No.
Like shit.
The way of the pitch, like Wembley after the NFL was there when Tottenham played against Man City. Yeah, I think with the NFL, that's just one of them games that's going to tear your pitch to pieces, and they shouldn't be on football pitches before someone plays. At Wembley, now that no one's using it as a home stadium, yes. Not at the Tottenham Stadium, like they're saying that they're on about doing it. No way. What was the first team you mentioned?
I do have a question.
Right then. So we'll come to your question at the end if you want them.
Yeah.
So I've been a teammate of Fernando Morientes, Joe Hart, Paul Pogba, and Hugo Lloris. Who am I? Who is that player? Who is that player? Fernando Morientes, Joe Hart, Paul Pogba, and Hugo Lloris. Marsh Brain, for fuck's sake. Honestly, you got something from Marsh Brain, haven't you? Joseph White had a GTA Shark card and as his main birthday present.
And?
Right then. Sanya is incorrect.
Once you sing
That's
that,
a good one, though.
Spania.
That is a good one. Not Sagna, obviously, he went to Man City, didn't he? That's
Yeah.
where he would have played with
Or
Joe Hart.
Wagner.
And he was French. So if you're struggling with this one, guys, I can give you a bit of a clue. The one team that you would, that this player is renowned for playing for, none of his teammates for that team are listed here, if that makes sense. So this player, okay, and so George Sabier, he'll be French, I'm guessing. Right, you're correct on that one. You're correct on that part, he is French. But the team that he played for, who he was more renowned for being a quality player for, none of his teammates are listed on there from that club. So Fernando Morientes, Joe Hart, Paul Pogba, and Hugo Lloris. Luke's
Everyone
quite quiet.
spam
Luke's
Marsh
usually
Brown. I'd rather spam play in place of Marsh Brown anyway.
so. I say Luke is quite quiet. He's usually in firing
Trying to
answers
find
in.
them on Google.
But that's the thing. That's what I like about these questions. You can't Google them. It's great. You really can't. So I think what I'm going to have to do is basically tell you which clubs or countries they're.
Played for Man City.
Right, so it wasn't for Man City,
No.
right? So Fernando Morientes, he was a teammate of Fernando Morientes at Monaco. He was a teammate of Joe Hart at West Ham. He was a teammate of Paul Pogba for France, and again, Hugo Lloris for France. So there you go. There's your clues, guys. I know this is a really tough one, but you'll kill.
Well, it's quite an easy one once you've said he's played for a teammate of Joe Hart at West Ham, because all they got to do is think of a Frenchman that played for West Ham.
Yeah.
There ain't many of them.
No. So I know, but I can't think of the name.
Yeah, I get that.
Before you go, it's not Adi Aziz. So Payet is good, but it's not correct. Payet would have been correct for Joe Hart, I think. No, he wouldn't have been Joe Hart, would he? Payet? No. Payet never played with Joe Hart, no. Sorry, Callum, it's not Marsh Brain for the 12th time that you've tried putting
Marsh
him
Brain wouldn't play for fucking West Ham.
He's too good for that.
You end up with Marlon Jackson, you go.
So, played with Fernando Morientes
Literally
at Monaco. He was actually a Champions League finalist with Monaco, funny enough, back in 2004. Played with Joe Hart, and it was quite recently at West Ham. And towards the end of his international career, he would have played with Pogba and Hugo Lloris. or is it Podrick Dolan? Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, according to the Western guy.
Yeah.
Right, guys, have I stumped you guys? There we go. Callum Winterton got it. It's Patrice Evra. Well done, mate. I thought we'd be stuck on the whole fucking night. Well done, mate. Well done. Well done, Callum. So Diop is incorrect. It was Evra. Second question. Now, you bloody better get this quickly. Usually a lot better than this. Who was the first Englishman to score 20 plus goals in a Premier League season? So who was the first Englishman to score 20 or more goals in a Premier League season? Shearer is incorrect. I told you earlier, didn't I? That'll be the first answer right. Shearer's incorrect. Cole would be the second answer right.
Well, which Cole?
Which Cole? If it's Andy, there we go. Colin's got it. It's Sheringham. It's Teddy Sheringham. Congratulations. Nice and quick. Marsbury. And so Andy Cole would have been in good shape because for Newcastle you'd have done that. But Sheringham is the first Englishman to score 20 goals or more in a Premier League season. So well done, Colin. Right then. Here's a nice, different kind of question for you. Which ex-manager said If God wanted us to play football in the sky, he'd have put grass up there. So which ex-manager said that?
Got it.
Done. Luke got it this time. Well done, Luke. Yep. So it was Brian Clough who said, if God wanted us to play football in the sky, he'd have put grass up there. Well done, Luke. And Colin obviously coming very closely afterwards. EW Labs obviously put it after he saw that Luke and Colin got it. You know, sneaky. But there we go. So that's the third one. Now, the fourth and final question, guys, before we go on to Kev's questions and then finally doing our County 11. Which 4 players who have played in the English Premier League were top scorers in the Dutch Eredivisie in the 1990s? So they were top scorers in the Dutch league during the 1990s. 4 of them have played in the Premier League. So during the 90s, 4 players who played in the Premier League were top scorers in the Dutch league. So Van Nistelrooy is correct. Bergkamp is correct. So we got 2 more. So Adi Aziz, no. Podrick Hammond, no. Jamil Mack, no. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, no. Will Randall, no. Kluivert, incorrect. Sorry, but that would have been one of the first ones I'd have gone for, but no, it's not right.
And they're not necessarily Dutch.
They don't have to be Dutch players either. There's a bit of a hint for you there. So Van Nistelrooy and Dennis Bergkamp were correct. Ruud Gullit. Fucking hell. So with Ruud Gullit, you've got R-U-U-D is how you spell Ruud, and then Gullit is actually
G-U.
spelled with a silent G, yeah. So it's G-U-L-L-I-T. Gullit, basically. So Michael Flynn, close, but no. Bergkamp, no. Obviously we got that one already. Weir is not correct. Quality player, mind you, Weir, wasn't he? Wayne Harswell. Fucking hell. No. George Weir, no. I'm dying. Ruud Gullit. Fair play, that's made my night. Van Persie is incorrect. Van Persie was more of a noughties. You haven't got to be Dutch. Okay, joke.
Who did he play
Good
for?
man, I tell you what, right? Yeah. So fair play, Nick. Yeah, you certainly got a laugh out of us on that one. Well done. That was really well played. So far we've got Dennis Bergkamp and Ruud van Nistelrooy. The other 2 are not quite as easy, although I'd have expected you to have got one of them by now. Hasselbank is incorrect. So Bergkamp and Van Nistelrooy were correct. They were top scorers in the Dutch league in the 90s. 2 other players who played in the Premier League were also A.D. Van Brain.
Sounds like a darts player.
Yeah, well, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We were a proper fat
Did you
bastard.
say Dad Denise Van Eyck in him, innit?
Yeah, hold his point in his left hand and his darts in his right hand.
Someone come up with Denise Van Eyck in him, innit?
Fucking hell, yeah. Right then, guys, am I going to put you out your misery or are you going to go and Google it? Now, one of them isn't Dutch. One of the final 2 isn't Dutch, one of them is. One of them is not even actually an attacker. One of them is more of a midfielder.
One of them hasn't got a proper name. Like Mark or anything like that.
Overmars, that's a good one, but it's not correct. It's not correct. Keanu Van Brain. Fuck it. Oh, you kids are gonna fucking kill me one day, honestly. Right then. I think what I'm gonna have to do is tell you which English teams they played for, and then hopefully you can pick it up from there. So, one of them, the Premier League team that they played for was Aston Villa, and the other one, who wasn't Dutch, played for Liverpool. Tyrone Mears.
What a shit player.
Not here anymore. So Babel, no, he was German, wasn't he? But I think Babel and this player played in the same Liverpool team briefly.
Well, they were teammates. Where they don't even know if they played together, but they were teammates.
Or Ryan Babel. Not correct, mate. No, Ryan Babel was a noughties player, unfortunately. This is from the 90s. So 90s. From the 90s. Oh, labs. What would we do without you, eh? At least Weedy isn't here. Weedy'd be having a field day right now, wouldn't he? So Patrick Berger, no, he also came through the German league to go to Liverpool.
Cheeseburger as well.
But it's a good shape though.
Cheeseburger, his brother.
So one of them played for Aston Villa, the other one played for Liverpool. But the one who played for Liverpool also played for Barcelona. If that's a good clue for you. So what did Lab say there? And Callum, me and this guy are jokes. So this guy, am I this guy? Or is that guy this guy? Suarez is incorrect. I'm going to have to give you the bloody answers now, aren't I?
The youngsters probably won't even know who one of them
Right
is.
then. So I think one of them you should get. Right, now, I'm going to hand it to you on a plate now. The one who played for Liverpool and also Barcelona was Finnish. He was from Finland. That's got to give it to you on a plate.
The youngsters wouldn't know who he was.
And the one who played for Aston Villa was the one who was more of a midfielder than a forward. Adi Jorgensen, for fuck's sake. So, the one who played for Liverpool, Litmanen, Jari. Yay, we got it! Well done, Luke.
Jari Litmanen.
Jari Litmanen.
Good player he was.
Fantastic one here. Really, really good. Big fan of Jari Litmanen, I was. So, we got one more, and I don't think you're going to get it, so I'm going to give you the answer, because we're 11 minutes over the usual hour that we do. So, Jari Bremen, fuck's sake. Alright, I've had enough of this now. I'm going to put you out of it. So the other one was Luke Nillis. Who remembers Luke Nillis? Do you remember Luke Nillis?
No.
Actually, I think he was a forward, wasn't he, Luke Nillis? I'm thinking of somebody else. Luke Nillis was the one who had his leg broken. He went to Aston Villa.
Great name that is, Benjani Aziz.
Benjani Aziz. Racist much? Luke Nillis. Danish. Is Luke Nillis Danish?
I thought
he was Dutch, wasn't he?
Never heard of him.
Never would have got it. Yeah, Luke Nillis. I'm quite sure Luke Nillis the one who had his leg broken playing for Aston Villa.
I don't know. I haven't heard of it.
Luke Nillis.
Luke de Gilbert will probably tell you who he is because he supports Villa.
He probably had a signed photo of him.
Yeah, probably has. Probably tweeted to him as well.
Yeah, probably tweets him every day. I scored 3 goals today, mate. Well, I get that message every Thursday.
Yeah, so 3 goals, 3 assists, and I headed 4 across the goal for someone else to head it.
Scored from 50 yards as well. Not Luke de Gilbert. Oh yeah, he got a bit of a Dutchy name, haven't he? Fair play, Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, Luke. Yeah, his first name's Luke.
Luke de Hullet.
Yeah, Luke de Hullet. Oh God. I hope he's not watching this now. You probably think we're bullying him. No, we like Luke. He's a good boy.
He's alright up a Villa.
Nice boy. Would an African team win a World Cup if France didn't poach them?
I suppose look at Senegal. That's
a pretty good shape, that is.
Senegal players play for France.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, isn't there? You look at the ones who do play for Senegal as well. Currently like Mane and that.
But that's Cissé and all them, didn't you?
Yeah. So there's that. Now I'm going to write down our Newport County team. Now, are we going to agree on our formation now? Because I think it should be the same as last year. So I'm going to write it down here. Taff, Live, County 11. As you can see, I'm doing it with my Newport County pen, as you do.
Yeah, 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, whichever way you want to play it.
Really. So are we going 5-3-2 with wing backs, right then? Okay then. So who's our 3? First of all, goalkeeper. I'm saying King.
King, yeah.
What are you guys saying? King. We get one more King. He's going in. Yeah, King. King is the goalie. Now, who's right wing back? Right wing back.
I can tell you who the three centres would be. But
All right, let's go for the centres then. Let's go for the centres
it's got to
first.
be Mickey. It's got to be Mickey OB and Ledbetter for me.
But wouldn't Ledbetter be the right wing back?
Nah. Who else would you put in place of him otherwise at centre back?
Centre back, Hawkins, Stojsavljevic.
Well, I suppose you put put Stojsavljevic in.
So, we say Mickey. So Ledbetter should be on the wing,
Right.
back,
Yeah.
the right wing back. So we're going Hawkins,
Mickey. And OB.
Demetriou. So Ledbetter is obviously going to be right wing back.
And left is our other guy in it.
We going Nurse or
yeah,
we going
George Nurse. I would go for
we going
myself.
Nurse or we going Haynes? So we'll be going with our best 11. Obviously, not necessarily the one that's going to start on the weekend. Nurse.
Yeah.
So we're going Nurse on the left.
Or Haynes. Could put Haynes in as well. Two
Well,
for Haynes.
2 for Haynes, 3 for Nurse, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing a lot of good things about Nurse and the way he's played for us in the friendlies. So
Haynes you could put in midfield anyway, but
potentially you could, yeah. Nurse is on loan, yeah. But I think they think he's gonna be one to start because Haynes is nursing an injury at the moment, isn't he?
yeah.
So who's our 3 midfielders? I think it's got to be
Sheehan.
Oh yeah, got to be Sheehan. Sheehan, Labardi,
That'll be Bennett, surely.
Benno or Dolan.
No, Bennett over Dolan any day. I'd have myself over Dolan.
Don't like him, that's you, mate.
No. He's no good.
Bennett.
That's his back all the time.
So Labs, Sheehan, Dolan,
way.
Prob, Wilmot, or Wilmot even.
Wouldn't put Dolan in there. So you're not going to pick...
What about Corey Whiteley?
Yeah, not going to pick Whiteley and what was I saying? Bennett. So no Bennett in the squad, no way. You'd have Bennett in there because Bennett would sit here just behind him. Bennett got a start, surely.
No, they're all going on Marsh Brown.
Marshbank can piss off. Marshbank won't be gone next week anyway.
So Labs,
Marshbank
Labs and Sheehan. So far it's Dolan or Bennett, by the looks of it. But I think Corey Whiteley needs a shake. Corey Whiteley needs a shake, guys.
The only way you could probably play Whiteley or Wilmot if you got them as wingers in a midfield 4.
So Podge and Matt is up top. Don't worry, that's coming, mate. That is definitely coming.
Labs,
so
Whiteley, Bennett.
Labs, Bennett, Whiteley.
Possibly, yeah.
So Whiteley, it's between Whiteley and Bennett, mate.
Labs, Bennett and Whiteley.
But
yeah,
I got Sheehan down though.
But no one's mentioned Sheehan really, so
No.
I would probably go
To be honest with
Labs,
you,
Whiteley and Bennett then.
Okay. So I know Luke mentioned Sheehan. Luke did mention Sheehan. Yeah. So Sheehan has been mentioned. I've said Sheehan as well. So I think it's just between Sheehan, Bennett, and Whiteley then for two spots, isn't it? Really. Okay, and I'm going to call rank because obviously there's my name on the thing, so I'm going to say Sheehan. I'm going to give you the opportunity to call second in rank to pick Bennett.
Got that Bennett on there.
Bennett. Right then, so I don't think we're going to have any issues with Podge and Matt up front.
And Podge up front, yeah. And then you go have a bench.
So Townsend,
Wilmot, Whiteley, Haynes, Stoke, I'll have a video of each, whatever his bloody name is. And who else we got in? And it's going to be, what's his name? Abrahams, isn't it? It's going to be the one probably. And he's there.
And who does that leave us with?
We need one more.
Dolan.
Yeah.
Here we go. So the Taff Live County 11. Toure in the bench, unfortunately not. Abrahams makes the bench over Toure. So there's our team. So the Taff Live County 11 is backwards for you guys, unfortunately. So King, Hawkins, O'Brien, Demetriou, Ledbetter, Nurse, Sheehan, Labardi, Bennett, Hammond, Matt, and then there's our bench,
Where's
which consists of
He's injured, so he ain't on it.
yeah. So Townsend, Wilmot, Whiteley, who else we got there? Haynes, Stojsavljevic, Abrahams, Dolan. But then at the same time, what you got to think of is we've missed out Marvel Ekpetita as well.
Yeah.
We've missed out Ekpetita, we've missed out Marsh-Brain.
Marsh-Brain won't be here by next week anyway.
We've missed out...
Marsh-Brain will be gone by next Saturday.
We've missed out Mo Toure as well.
Yeah.
So
I don't think
people have to miss out.
Marsh-Brain won't be here
It's
next
a shame.
week.
It's a shame, but people have to miss out. But look, guys, I think this is the very longest Taff Live.
Play Wilmot
You've
with
ever
a Ledbetter. Are you on the laugh? When Wilmot plays on the wing and Ledbetter's a defender, and Ledbetter's probably going to be one of the best right backs in the league.
Yeah, I think so.
It's an outstanding player.
Looking forward to it. So this is it then, guys. Saturday. Here we go. Here Kev's got Marsh-Brain on back of shirt. You know, we haven't got on the back of that one yet.
Yeah,
but,
it says shit. I got it on the bottom of my shoe.
Yeah. So there we go. Guys, it's been a riot tonight. It's been awesome. Thanks for those who tuned in. Thanks for those who contributed some amazing points of view and some great questions tonight as well. Score prediction, I'm going 2-1 County.
3-1 Newport.
As long as we win. See you the other day. Oh, I forgot the fucking words for it now. And the funny answers. Oh, there's that.
Seen your mate the other day. What mate's up?
Oh, that's right. He reckons he saw the new Pele. And when I asked who is he, I'm waiting for Labs to fill in with the rest of it now. Any moment now.
Come on.
You think your typing fingers are failing? He goes by the name of. Oh, come on!
And we'll let you know after the break.
Press the X now. There he is. Goes by the name of Adi Aziz. Adi Aziz. Adi Aziz. He goes by the name of Adi Aziz.
Adi Aziz.
Pumped,
Adi
boys.
Aziz.
Pumped. I'm gonna be
Ball
jumping all
goes
over you.
his head.
Weedy, you're having it, mate. I'm jumping on you first when we score our first goal. That's it. I'm flattening you, mate.
Well, he won't
flattening
be
you.
scoring it.
Right then.
Main man, we gotta get him signed up on another year.
100%. Or another fucking 20 years. Right. Cheers, guys. We'll see you Saturday. Thank you very much.
3-1.
And for those of you who aren't County fans,
I'm
all
on
the best for your first
Whiteley
fixture.
and Matt.
You've heard it here first. He's not wrong often. So take that up
3-1.
and go make yourself some money. Pay for your holiday. Good night, everybody. Cheerio for now, and as always, up the county.
Lead us up the county.